Chelsea 2, Everton 0. Tuchel's magic continues. That's 8 wins from 11 games. That's 9 clean sheets. And Chelsea are now 4 points clear inside the top 4. It gets better and better week in, week out. The level of comfortability would be the word I would use. I'm not sure if that's a real word, but they were comfortable. They were together. They were assured. They were well drilled. Chelsea are almost completely and utterly purring from front to back. They weren't helped by the officials tonight. A ridiculous goal for one of the best players on the park tonight, Kai Havertz, ruled out for handball. How can it be handball when it hit your shirt line when you could be offside by your shirt line? Disgraceful refereeing decision there. The referee, fair enough, in real time, may have felt he saw it differently, but VAR has got to give Kai Havertz that goal. No doubt about it whatsoever. But Chelsea didn't need it in the end. Brilliant play opened up Everton for the opening goal. Slightly fortuitous with the deflection to go in, but you make your own luck in this game. And if you attack, if you open teams up, if you stretch them and you pull them from pillar to post, it's highly likely you're going to score goals. And yes, there was a slight deflection for an own goal, but that's life. The second goal comes from a penalty. Again, opened Everton up like a tin of beans. Pickford with his T-Rex arms couldn't get there, gives away the penalty, and Jorginho steps up, puts it away, and kind of cements a brilliant couple of months for him in central midfield for Chelsea. And he's finally getting the recognition that a player of his ability demands. And in the summer, I was telling Man United fans, I would love Jorginho at Manchester United. The control, the guile, the passing ability. And it's knowing when to play the right pass. It's okay having, attacking players and creative players will often, they'll go for that Hollywood ball. They lose possession far more than those deeper lying players. On average, 18 to 22 times per game. The KDBs, the Brunos. Jorginho's the other end. His passes are nearly always the right pass. If it has to be sideways or backwards to keep possession, he'll do it. If there's a pass on to a player in space in the attack, he'll move the ball into the right areas. Absolutely sensational from him today. But Kai Havertz takes all the plaudits. And that leads us in to a series of questions that we want to pose to you, the viewers, tonight. We want your super chat answers to come in. We're going to open up the lines for you to come on and have your say. But question number 1 is very simple. Should Kai Havertz replace Mason Mount in the starting lineup, or do you think there's a place for both of them in this team? Question number 2, Chelsea fans, how confident are you of Silverware, not just next season, but this season under Thomas Tuchel? You're going from strength to strength. You're not conceding goals. You're starting to score more. You've had big results. All the acid tests, Southampton, Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, Everton, all difficult teams to beat. In fairness, you've smashed them. Maybe not in terms of scoreline, but overall play, absolutely smashed them. Not a shadow of a doubt in anybody's mind. So can you win Silverware this year is question number 2. And the third question that I wanted to pose is quite simple. Are Chelsea back? Are Chelsea back? Is this how you want to see Chelsea operate moving forward? I want your views and I want your opinions on that. I really, really do. Well drilled, well put together. Excellent play, there's no doubt about that. And do you know the fear factor here? The fear factor here for rival fans, Tuchel is going to get backed in the transfer market. They've been buying players that fit Tuchel's system now for 2 or 3 years. Sarri, Lampard, and now the evolution into Tuchel. They're going to buy more. They're going to buy better attackers. They're going to buy another centre-back. They're going to buy more midfield players. Chelsea will be challenging Manchester City next year for the title. Not a shadow of a doubt. I really want to see. Have they played twice already this season? I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe they have. If they haven't, I can't wait for Chelsea, Man City. Taking my bias away as a rival of both those teams, Man City versus Chelsea right now becomes if you're a football fan and you love good football, it's the blockbuster fixture. Seeing Tuchel and Pep go head-to-head tactically is going to be amazing. But do me a big, big favor now. We're going to get the panel on, get their opinions, then open up the lines for you. What we need right now is for you to smash that like button. I don't want to go any further until we fly past at least 500 likes while we're live. We want to get this past 1,000 likes when we're finished. That's the first thing I need you to do for me right now. Then we're going to share the link on the Discord server so you can phone in. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace. Really important for us that you get that done. And we have a massive announcement coming for you soon. I'm so excited about it. I cannot wait to take you on the next leg and the next journey of the football terrace. All I can say, it's going to be absolutely epic. And I'm just chuffed that so many of you watch us each week. So many of you support us each week. You have made this happen. You're literally the reason why this is moving to the next stage. So a massive thank you to all of you from the bottom of my heart. But make sure that like button is being smashed. Christopher here says, I love Werner, but Terry, imagine Havertz as a second striker if they get Haaland as the main striker. Oh my God. Yeah, Havertz today. Havertz, the running, the movement, the vision. Still a little rusty when it comes to the end product. But overall, Kai Havertz today demonstrated why he's the record signing at Chelsea. Demonstrated why he's that record signing at Chelsea. He really, really did. Let's get the panel on, people. Let's do this right about now. Keep those super chats coming in. Guess who you think my man of the match is as well. Let's go, people! Yes. We've still got Ryan, and we've still got Ryan backstage. Will be coming on very, very soon. I want to go to David first. Another brilliant Tuchel performance. Magical display again from Chelsea. Securing top four looks a certainty now. Give me your thoughts, mate.
Kai Havertz. That's what I've got to say about today. Kai Havertz was phenomenal. Just picking up spaces. I mean, we all knew he can play false nine. He played it excellently today, picking up spaces, dropping the ball off. And I know the goal is an own goal, but again, that's him being in the right position at the right time to create that chance. Then him winning the penalty as well. It's exactly what I want from a player in that position, contributing in the game, giving us that end product. It was fantastic. Again, defense is normal. You know, they just do their thing, keep that clean sheet. First manager in the history of the Premier League to keep 5 clean sheets in a row. I think it is.
That is what's sensational. And I want to ask Jem that question. We know that there's still more work to be done from an attacking point of view, but the strength, the solidity, the togetherness of your backline, as the greatest football manager in the history of the Premier League said, attacks wins you games, a great defense wins you titles. Are you seeing the starting foundations of another great Chelsea team?
For me, it's still quite early. I mean, it's good what we've seen up to now. 11 games, and only 2 goals conceded. The defense, I don't want to hear that Zuma can't play in the back three. Zuma played well today. This is one of the things that we kept going on about. Oh, don't play Zuma in the back three. He's technically not good enough. Zuma was good today. He had DCL in his back pocket the whole game. Yeah. Christensen just looks like another player. I've been very critical of Christensen, to be fair, and he just looks solid. The fact that Thiago Silva's back and he's sitting on the bench, who would have thought that at the beginning of the season? Eh? Who would have thought that we could leave Thiago Silva on the bench when we've got Christensen, Zuma, and Aspie lined up? Havertz was man of the match. Werner went missing today. Not going to lie, he did go missing. I think he struggles against a low block team. I think we struggle to get him involved in games. But yeah, it was a good performance overall. I thought the second half we were slow, predictable. I don't think it was the best game I've seen. The second half we played quite well. Very well, actually. But the first half was average to me. Found it hard to break Everton down. But overall, I'm happy, Terry. Happy man.
I hear you on that. I don't necessarily think Werner went missing. In my view, he missed 2 gilt-edged chances, which I think he should be putting away. And I think a confident Werner does that. He was in the right place. But his finishing boots definitely weren't there. We had a super chat that says, to be honest, Terry, it doesn't matter whether we start both or not. We have depth to do what we like with. And I think Cho gets a good shout as well. People were wondering about his starting lineups, but I'm not doing that anymore. We also have, thank you for that super chat and great donation. We've got a world-class coach. You've got Agent Ollie. Lol. Yeah, I mean, great when you're taking shots. I hear you on that. Daniel's back with us on the terrace by popular demand. Dan, I mean, do you agree with what sort of Jem was saying, that you should maybe underplay it a little bit right now? Or are you seeing something different? Are you seeing sort of the roots, the green shoots of another great Chelsea side? You're on mute, bro.
You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah,
brother.
Yeah. This is what I've always said. Look, if I can use Man United as an example, all Man United fans want to see in Ollie is, and regardless of the fact that Ollie's done a great job as manager, all they want to do is see something that they can believe in. They just believe a lot of things aren't sustainable. They think things aren't. Sometimes you see them play well, and it's just too erratic for Man United fans. I think when I see Tuchel and how he's laid out his team, it's pragmatic. There's something to believe in. So I won't obviously break the bank and be like, oh yeah, we're back. We're gonna win the league next year. No, but we were putting in the right pieces in place to set us up to do that. We're building a spine, a team that we can trust, a spine that we can trust, players that we can trust. Look, the one thing Tuchel has done that needs to be highlighted in detail is the squad management. And that's what Lampard was struggling to do with the number of players that he had. Squad management. And I've said it. I said it to all the people that came to me and wanted to get my thoughts on Tuchel. I said, Tuchel plays chess while Chelsea football Twitter is playing checkers. Reacting to the lineup. I saw so many people come to me say, bro, you're going to lose this game. How can he not start Mount? How can he bring Zuma and just randomly doing things that don't make sense? At the end of the day, Tuchel sees the players play every training session. He understands that DCL is a threat in the air, Richarlison threat in the air. Zuma has to play. He brings him in. He thinks Kai Havertz, this is the perfect game to bring him in, and then he has a perfect performance. You just got to give him the credit, man.
You know, you do, and you make a great point there about squad rotation and a manager using the right players at the right time. And it's sometimes you might have a player that's a better. You know, when you played Man United and Liverpool in recent games, what you saw was you're playing against a team that's better going forward than previous opponents. Yeah. So what happens is you play your better defensive fullbacks. You put Kante in the middle to break up some of their play because you're not being more negative. You're just protecting yourselves. Today, you were a little bit more open. You knew that you were going to be able to attack Everton with more gusto. Why? Because you're a superior team to them. And it's about a squad rotation. I remember reading, I know Klopp's off the boil a bit this season with Liverpool, but we could all probably last season have named their strongest 11. And this notion I see on Twitter, football Twitter, strongest 11, it drives me insane. Again, if I ruled the world, be banned from Twitter for 12 months if you ever posted strongest 11. It doesn't exist. Strongest 11 depends upon who you're playing, what games you've got coming up. Yeah, that's how managers think. And last year, we could all have named Liverpool strongest 11 probably on paper. We know the back four, the front three, the middle three. I read a stat that they only played about 5 or 6 games in the whole season together as a collective 11. There was nearly always somebody else rotated in and managed into that squad. And you're absolutely right. Tuchel is doing that brilliantly. And what that does is 2 things. It gives them an opportunity to really see these players in action. But on top of that, and the most important element, is that it shows the squad that this manager is being fair. This manager is going to give everybody a chance.
And Terry, do you know who was the king of that? Bringing in players at the right time? Sir Alex Ferguson. Ji-Sung Park would play those big 6 games against the top sides. He'd bring him in for his energy. You'd see Darren Fletcher, he'd come in certain games. You'd see Anderson, he'd come in certain games. Apart from the cool players that Man United had, the great Man United teams of old, they had guys coming in and out of the team. I remember you starting a back four, I think of like John O'Shea, Wes Brown. It was just a weird collection, but it worked on the day. And that's what we're seeing with Tuchel. And what that does is it creates squad harmony. It means that everyone understands that this guy's going to bring me back. Alonso would have put up a fit if he was out for 2, if Lampard took him out for 2 games and brought in Chilwell. But Alonso comes back in and plays well today. So the trust in players who have let us down is being restored, and the main guy leading that resurgence is Andreas Christensen.
Also, when you're playing a game every 4 days, helps you keep fresh.
You Chelsea fans, stop being sissy boys, fam. Say it, fam. Say it.
We're not.
You disappear. Go away.
KJ. As I said from the start, this guy will be successful. I don't have to say what you want me to say. I know who the manager is. I know his quality. He's a failure. I knew what he was, so I don't have to.
Nah, David, shut up, bro. I ain't talking to you. Just waffling, fam. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to Jim. I'm talking to Dan there, just tiptoeing. Oh, but we don't know. Yes, you do know, fam. You guys.
Should I tell you what it is, KJ?
Do you know that? Do you know that you're winning the Europa League, bro?
KJ, what it is
point, boys.
Remember when they were saying we couldn't beat a team in the top half of the table? There's clear signs of us getting back to where we need to be. And at the end of the day, the expectations of Tuchel, he said it in his interview with BT Sport, he said, look, I could have said no to the job because they didn't offer me a 4-year deal. They offered me 18 months. No, the expectations are to win the league. He wants to win the league next year. We're going to hold him to that standard. And he's putting in the pieces for us to win the league next year. And no one can dispute, at least put up a challenge anywhere, put up a fight.
Yeah, the other thing as well, Dan, is we're not actually the finished article as well. If you look at the squad, if you look at the squad itself, there's probably a couple players in that team that he actually probably don't want. Yeah, he's probably managing them very well and getting the best out of them. But I bet you any money that the board are looking at him and thinking, all right, when it gets to the end of the season, we are going to back him. If he needs certain individuals to, fit his style with him more, he will do that.
And that is why, as Chelsea fans, you guys should be gassed. You guys should be excited. You guys just should feel like you're about to go back to the top, because you know you've got a quality manager, and Roman is in the mood again to win.
And you should definitely be excited about that because he will get backed in the right way moving forward. We've got a poll currently running on Twitter, and one of the questions is can they win silverware this season with Tuchel? Can Chelsea wear silverware? 47% of the vote says yes, 100%. 29% is saying not sure. Only 8% are saying no. The other option was not this season. I don't know why I put not this season and no in the same. I think no is more of a he ain't going to win anything, and not this season is like we're positive. We've got some super chats to do here. Then we're going to share the link for people to start calling in and have their say. What took us so long to get rid of Lampard? Can you imagine if Tuchel at the beginning of the season? Well, let me just say this to you now. See, I'm not. This isn't a rude response, but Tuchel was employed at Paris Saint-Germain, and this is where Chelsea are a better run football club than a lot of the other top six. I believe you wanted Tuchel when Sarri left, but you had a transfer ban, and he was in the middle of doing what he was doing at Paris Saint-Germain. Lampard came in as almost like a permanent interim, and he only had an 18-month, 2-year deal anyway when he came in, and he was kept. As soon as Tuchel's position at Paris Saint-Germain was under major threat, they started working on it. They removed the reason that Lampard stayed an extra few weeks is because Tuchel originally said, I don't want to come into a club mid-season. Chelsea carried on negotiating and got him. Once the deal was secure for Tuchel, they sacked Frank Lampard. The great thing is with Chelsea, they didn't get rid of Frank Lampard until they had a proper replacement lined up. And the replacement they got was the guy who they always wanted. Now, if Tuchel was going to leave Paris Saint-Germain at the end of this season, Lampard would probably still be at your club right now, unless they could have found a super interim. Because they run things well. Maybe Poch, I think people said. But the one thing is as well is Chelsea then went for a manager. Chelsea went for a goddamn manager who could get the best out of the squad that you've got. It isn't like you've gone and done a Tottenham where we've got a squad that's been built in Poch's image, in the Spurs image of playing good football. Let's just bring in a pragmatic manager that's going to, it's going to be really hard to squeeze blood from a stone. I've got to do these super chats before they disappear. This one here says, I've already said that one. Let's go to the next few that are on here that came after that. If these damn comments don't fly away, they always fly away like that. This one here says, stop gassing the new manager bounce. Lampard had it. Ollie did it even better. Let's see where they are in a year and what happens after a loss. Strip Bear says smug silence, just with a super chat there. Sasko says, I love Frank. He had no clue what he was doing. Poor players play week in, week out, but Thomas Tuchel knows exactly how to manage. Please. And KJ, we are back.
Yes, like a Chelsea fan with chest fan. I told you the chest surgeon, the plastic surgeon.
Shut up.
The Podfather here says this is where fans have to be humble. This is where fans have to be humble. Fans weren't calling for rotation. They all just wanted their favorite players, i.e. Adoy and Pulisic. Well, this is the thing, Podfather. This is the thing. What happens when you get a manager in that gets universal respect from the masses is they're more accepting. I've seen a few tweets from people saying, I've never seen Jorginho play this well. It makes me laugh. I'm like, no, Jorginho's pretty much been like this all the time. But it's because you didn't like the manager and you didn't like the system, so you didn't see the things. By the way, if all the Man United fans get their wish and Nagelsmann comes in and Nagelsmann plays Scott McTominay every week, you'll see his detractors that love Nagelsmann slowly change and go, this manager's getting it out of him. I've never seen him play this well.
Look at Jem and Jorginho. Look at Jem.
Look at Jem and Jorginho. Look at Jem and Jorginho.
Honestly,
Exactly.
do you remember them people saying, Billy Gilmore and Jorginho is like that's an actual debate? Absolute nonsense.
Hang on, don't put words on my mouth. What were you saying?
Jem, admit the Jorginho thing. Jem, admit the Jorginho thing. Jem, admit the Jorginho thing.
Jorginho got dropped. Wait a sec, Daniel. Jorginho got dropped against Man United, and Kante came in and had a world-class performance. I don't care, providing that the players that are playing perform. He's getting the best out of every individual. Our issue as fans, as Chelsea fans, and we keep doing it, like David, is that when Havertz plays and Mason Mount gets rested for one game, it's, let's see, this is what happens when he don't play. We're just trying to fit your agenda players into your team rather than appreciate the squad we got and the depth we've got. We appreciate it.
Jem, quickly. KJ, just very quickly. We all know David's agenda against Mount was just, there was no foundation for it. So I allow him in that regard. But since Tuchel's come in, who do you think's been our best midfielder? It's not a competition, but I'm just interested to think.
Kovacic.
I'm telling you, as a neutral watching, Jorginho has been the guy. You know what Jorginho is? Jorginho is Michael Carrick. Jorginho is this. You can have the best bit of beef, succulently cooked, the best roast potatoes, the veg has been boiled and grilled in variations to perfection, right? You've got the sauces, everything's there. The mashed potato is creamy, it's lovely. The Yorkshire puddings are massive, they're succulent, yummy. If you have no gravy, that roast dinner is shit, bruv. Jorginho is the gravy. Without it, everything else falls apart on a roast.
Sorry, I meant Mason Mount, Terry. Mason Mount.
No, but you know what I meant. The centre midfielders, not the attack.
Jorginho holds his whole system together. Is the glue to it. He is the cartilage. Without him, there's going to be a lot of pain. We have a super chat here that says it's shocking how offsides are called for the t-shirt sleeve, but handball is also called. That's not handball. That's my point. If it hits the t-shirt sleeve, it can never be. Do you know what I'm seeing VAR do at the minute? They're protecting referees from bad decisions. Referees are making bad decisions, and rather than overruling them, they're protecting them by agreeing with them. And it's a bad look for VAR because VAR is meant to be there to save football. This comment here says, we done moaned about the referees. We finished it. He said it last week. Possession nullifies other teams' attacks, and that says it all. It's vibes, KJ. And that's the point. It's as long as you have the possession, you kill your teams off. No one's going to moan. Jack here says, until we win trophies, we aren't back. I hear you on that. We're going to open up the lines now. We're going to get some callers on. We're going to share the link in the comment section. Now, let's get this past 1,000 likes now while we're live. We're nearly on 600. Make sure you're all smashing that and supporting the Football Terrace. I'm literally spamming the link in the comment section below. But have a point when you come on. The final question I want to ask before we go to callers, and I want to speak about it. So come with an answer ready. If you don't have an answer for the questions, you're really not going to be on too long, if I'm being blunt with you. But this is a question I posed today. The poll is interesting. Should Havertz replace Mason Mount in the starting 11? 37% say no, Mason is clear. 37% have said Mason is clear. 14% say 100% yes. 20% basically have said not yet, but soon. And 29% have said rotation is key. So I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. What I might just do quickly is refresh that poll, just see if it's changed since I shared it. It might have changed a little bit. No, it hasn't. That's where it is. 37% say no, Mason Mount is clear of Kai Havertz. We want your calls. First up, we're going to get man like Ryan all the way from Jamaica back on the show. Ryan, welcome back to the terrace, mate. What do you want to say?
Yo, what's going on, man? Hey, shout out to the panel. What's that guy name in the black shirt there?
Daniel.
Yo, bro, you know you football, man. I've been watching you, man. I've been listening to you, bro. Yeah, man. That's what Tuchel been doing, man. He's been rotating the squad, and nobody have anything to say. Nobody can complain. And if it was Lampard, not agenda against Lampard, but people would be going mad. All right, I don't want to stray from Terry's question. Terry, what you said? Either Havertz or Mount? Terry, why you do that, man? Oh my God, this is the problem. This is the problem. Why I have to give Tuchel his credit, man. Look what this guy been doing. It's hard for me to say, Terry. Honestly, I'm not gonna answer that one. It's really hard for me to say. As maybe I would say not yet. I would go with not yet.
I hear you. For me, I mean, my personal answer, Ryan, would be rotation is key. I think like that for me is that. Like, I don't think it's a case of one should replace the other. It should, you might see Havertz start games, and then I think Mason comes back in this kind of concertina season where the games are every 2 or 3 days. It's going to be massively important.
And you see you're managing the squad. And I heard you have a conversation about Jorginho. You call him the gravy. Need to do some more research, Terry. That man is the engine. We all want Jorginho to come out last season. You see what the man have been playing now? Jorginho is like an engine in that midfield. He's the engine. Without him, the car come like it can't move. The man know if you speed up the game, slow down the game, kill the good time. The man just, Jorginho was like, everybody curse about Jorginho and said, he's too weak. He can't do this. When team pressure, look at the man now. Look at the man. It's all about a manager, bro. It's all about what a manager can influence in a man. And you want to play. Jorginho look like a total different player. Jorginho look like he's stronger than even Kante. I see him in tight space, wheeling around ball. And you know what he do when he can't come out? He shield the ball so good they have to foul him. The referee have to really against him to don't give him the foul. So he's like an engine in that midfield. He's not the gravy, Terry. He's the engine. I'm telling you. Engine.
I agree he's an engine. But my view on him being gravy is this, right? So the way I look at Jorginho is like I looked at Michael Carrick, and this is a compliment. When you talk about what you're cooking at the weekend, you might talk about how great your roast potatoes are, how great you are at cooking meat and whatever. No one ever shows off about how good their gravy is. But without the gravy, it all falls apart. You're never gonna boast about Jorginho. He isn't going to do anything in a game that's going to make the highlight reel. He isn't going to do anything in a game that's going to make kids stand up and say, that's the position that I want to play. But without him, this Tuchel system for me, with that twin six, it doesn't work. Final question, Ryan. Mm-hmm. Can you win Silverware this season with Tuchel? Are you confident you can pull in some trophies even?
I'm going to tell him, man. I know KJ at Twist want us to say we're back, but listen, this coach giving me confidence, man. I'm not ruling it out. We have FA Cup. You understand? We have Champions League. I'm not ruling it out. I already lift my hands up to City and say go with the title. But the more you win, Terry, is the more belief come. You see, if you see the squad that we have more to improve in, because as I tell you before, that all he's trying to do is get back confident in these guys. You see these two between line, they playing the ball. We used to play sideways. You still do that, but now and then you see we slip it through the line, right? We never used to do that. Those confidence is building. And when a team is fully confident and have everybody happy in it, this guy know how to win trophy. He done it already. He been there. So what? We can do it, man. We're not ruling it out. I'm not ruling it out. I don't know about the rest of Chelsea fans. I know my boy Daniel said we should have been get to gas and everything, but he giving me confidence. I feel comfortable. I can go into a game and feel all right. The other, if before that, I used to go into game and put my head and said, damn, where the goal is coming from. We know we're not, the front line not scoring, but you see,
do you know what I'll say?
The game?
Do you know what I'll say to that? I'll say, the more I see Tuchel manage this team, it shows me that. And again, it's so sad that we have to do the comparisons, but we can only do that because Lampard got sacked this season. Mm-hmm. It shows me that it was never a personnel issue. It was always a systemic one. There was never something in place. We went on an unbeaten run with a 4-3-3 system. When that came apart and it stopped working for us, there wasn't an adjustment that was put in place straight away for us to be successful. And that's where the problem lies with the Tuchel system. It's clearly being successful. I have no doubts that once he sees that maybe this back three doesn't really necessarily work or it's not as effective, he's going to change it straight away.
Yeah, that's what I want to add to that to Daniel before you go. Exactly what he's saying. People are saying that we're on a good run now, but wait till we lose. Wait till we lose. You're going to see it fall away. No, bro, it's not like that. This man give me belief. I feel like he can change something. He have ways out to. What's that? That sound like KJ. That sound like KJ giving trouble. Because I know KJ is a Man U fan, so he's a little jealous, But
no.
I feel like it's KJ playing a little. But I'm telling you. But I'm telling you.
As a remix.
Chelsea fans. Every Chelsea fans, and Jeff, big up yourself, man, David. Every Chelsea fan should be feeling comfortable now. I'm not saying we should be jumping and said Ray, because as again I'm saying, this coach just giving us belief. It doesn't matter even if we lick a bump. I feel like he know how to get out of it. You understand?
I agree with you, mate. Great call as ever, Ryan, bro. We'll chat to you again soon, mate. All the best, brother. All the best,
man.
You can go eat dinner now in peace. Matt Rowe here says difference difference is Kai over Mount and Tuchel over Lampard. Is what's been said there.
All I'm saying, all I'm going to say on this situation, right? If Mount is as good as you've all been chatting about, right? Why is it that people are already thinking, is it worth dropping him? That's my.
Because they think like you.
I am not saying that. I am not. No. Because my opinion's always been that Havertz is better than Mount. That's always been my opinion. So my opinion ain't changed.
Why can't they play together?
Coexist?
Why can't they play together?
Honestly, I don't think they can. I really don't.
Why?
I don't think they can coexist.
Why?
I think
why?
I think it's one or the other. Because I don't see where Mount fits into this midfield. Because he's not going to go into. No, because he's not going to go in Jorginho and in a Jorginho and Kovacic role. He's not going to go in there. This whole thing of him playing 6, I don't think he can. And then Werner's got to play on one side, and then I think you're going to have another winger in. And
why can't he play like he did against Liverpool?
What about tonight, where you basically had sort of 2 10s that split?
Yeah, I mean, again, you can try. I just don't think those two really, from what I've seen so far of those two when they play together, it doesn't really work that well.
I think it gives us exciting.
That's me personally. But
viewers, you can have your say on that. Keep your comments coming in. Keep smashing that like button. Next caller on the show, we've got man like Prime with us. Different hat, different shades. What you saying, Prime?
This game was more difficult than playing Liverpool. It's embarrassing. Hang on.
This game is. I think this game we played well, but this game was more difficult in my opinion. It's more of a challenge than we had facing Liverpool.
Yeah, but Everton are better than Liverpool this season.
I know. That's my point. I'm bantering Liverpool.
Oh, I missed that one, mate. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a great game today. Suma handled Calvert-Lewin in the air. That deflected goal from Havertz. All right, whether or not you want to give it to him doesn't matter. We cruise control in this game. It was brilliant. Whether Havertz and Mount can coexist together as what do you want to call it, 2 floating 10s or whatever. Yeah, maybe they can. David saying that what you've seen from it, what you've seen is with Lampard, and as we all know, he's not the brightest manager in the world. So with Tuchel, maybe they can both play together. Maybe they can't. We don't know, but I think we'll probably see it come the end of the season. People saying we're back. No,
you are.
Relax. Relax. Don't get gassed. Because me saying we're back means we're winning the title next season. And I don't think we're doing that unless we do the business that we need to do, which I don't think we will.
You don't think you're going to buy people this summer? Why?
No, not a pro. I think we're going to spend the summer chasing Haaland, and we're not even going to get him anyway. I think it'll be a waste, and we'll end up getting a third choice striker, which won't be of the level that we need.
Okay, I mean, you don't have that kind of. You don't have any faith. Then you don't have any faith that your board, your negotiating team would be able to land you a substantial striker. What makes you believe that? In the last 3 or 4 years, what makes you believe you won't land a top signing target?
In the last 3 or 4 years, we wanted Lukaku and we got Morata. The last 3 or 4 years, we wanted.
That's different owners, though. I mean, different negotiating teams, right?
Is it a different negotiation team?
Yeah. Because those were under Emanalo, and we've got Granit Xhaka now.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, fair enough. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I just don't. I
mean, you're talking about the group of people that got 150 million pounds for Havertz. You're talking about the people that took Timo Werner away from his surrogate father, Jurgen Klopp. You signed Kai Havertz and you took him away from Bayern Munich that were chasing him and wanted him. You managed to convince Thiago Silva to join the Premier League, which multiple teams have been doing for years and couldn't get done. You signed some serious ballers to act like. For any Chelsea fans, to act like you don't have the resource, the money, or the capabilities of bringing in a Haaland is mad. Like, you really do. And if you end this season well and you're playing beautiful football, maybe you pick up maybe win the FA Cup, Champions League semi-final. Of course, you can pick up a top player.
Also, you're acting like we can't do multiple deals at once.
No, I know.
We can do that.
I know. I didn't say we don't have the money or resources or the pull. I just don't want to spend the summer chasing Haaland, knowing that he doesn't even want to come to us anyway. I think there are other targets
I get
in terms of being a striker, there are other targets.
How do you know that?
But your club isn't going
that's
to
not
do
true.
that. If your club make an inquiry in May and Haaland says, "I've got no interest in coming to Chelsea," they won't. They're not Woodward and Co. They're not going to carry on chasing him for. They're not going to do what you do, Prime. You said no, but you keep sliding in the DMs. That ain't going to happen. Like that isn't going to happen.
That's not what I do. You don't know my DMs. That's not what I do.
Oh, okay, bro.
Yeah, the manscaped, isn't it? Don't worry about Prime.
Prime's doing well there. We're going to go to some more callers now, see what they've got to say. Next up, Mr. Anthony, massive contributor to Football Terrace. What you saying, bro?
Hey, Terry. Just got to say one thing. I think the referees are against us. You know?
He's an asshole.
The referees are against us. They're not giving us our goals. My God. It's a great thing to see. And to be honest, on the Mount Havertz thing, what a great problem to have. What a brilliant problem to have.
Yeah.
Who can? At the end of the day, we played 10 games. We don't have a proper striker. Whether we get Haaland or not, I'm really not concerned. If we get Haaland, it would be brilliant for us. However, what this just proves is we can still be challenging even without a proper striker. And at the end of the day, if there is a club in the Premier League that you're going to back to get Haaland or a top player and like spend money, it's either City or it's either us. Who thought that we were going to spend 250 million on Frank Lampard, who hasn't done much in the Premier League?
Yeah,
we're always going to back.
I hear that. For me, I actually think you spent a lot on the Chelsea squad, knowing that a Tuchel type figure was going to come in. And do you know what I think a lot of Chelsea fans forget? If Kai Havertz refines his form, that guy can score lots of goals. If Werner finds you may find that you don't, by the end of the season, it all could click and you're like, we don't want anybody else because those two have delivered and they've come up trumps. By the way, everybody, it's 2-0 to West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham, man. You got to listen, Chelsea. I know you guys are backing that, but fam, West Ham.
I mean, we got a game against West Ham, so that would be a big one.
I know it's the top of the league. I mean, do you know the funny thing is Liverpool are now 5 points away. The Liverpool are going to be 5 points away from 5th, and West Ham have a game in hand over them. It's mad. Liverpool go to the Europa Conference, bro.
Do you know?
Chelsea fans,
isn't it?
Sorry, do you know what? Yeah. Sorry, Prime. Quickly, yeah. You know what? This is just to the panel and just open it up. I think back to when we bought Michael Ballack, and everyone said that he wouldn't be able to play with Lampard, and then we found a system that played Ballack and Lampard in this because Ballack came to Chelsea as a double-digit goal scorer, and then obviously he kind of stopped scoring goals at Chelsea, but was still an influential part of the team. So I think Mount Havertz is still a good problem to have, and there will be a way where Tuchel plays both of them. I definitely think that.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, Mr. Anthony, thank you very much for coming on, having your say, mate. I really appreciate that, and all your support of the Football Terrace. It means a great deal to us. Thank you very much indeed. Next up, he's back with us. Lamin's in the house. What you saying, bro?
Yes, Terry, what you saying? What you saying?
I'm good, bro. You? Why you got a coat on indoors, bro?
It's just a bit chilly, man. Man's just the heat in the air. It's all the way up, but man's still feeling this cold, bro. Like,
I'm the other way. I'm cheap. I don't. Sometimes, if I'm a bit cold, I'm like, I'm not going to put the heat in. I'm just going to put like a jumper and a blanket on, and I'm cool, bro. But there's nothing wrong with that. Listen, bro, what you saying?
I'm just gonna say now, yeah. I think all Chelsea fans, we might just need to start a GoFundMe, just to buy Timo Werner a goal, man. Because this guy right now, he cannot buy a goal.
I think we need to GoFundMe for your Wi-Fi, bro.
Yeah, don't diss Timo Werner, mate. You get cut off.
No, but the thing is, you'd rather Timo Werner have.
No, I agree with him.
You know, his misses when we're winning 2-0 than it be 1-1 and it be crucial. But I don't mind. For now, like this game, for example, I don't mind him missing as much because we're going to win it anyway, and at least he's getting into the position.
It's the 0-0s though, where you don't want that to be.
It's like Martial's miss yesterday. Like he was 2-0 up already. You can forgive him for missing that 1-on-1. If that was 0-0,
he had a good game.
Yes, KJ, we know United are back as well. We know.
It's true though. It's also this. If when you guys weren't winning, Werner was getting a lot of shit because you weren't winning and he wasn't scoring. Now that you're winning and you're not conceding and you're winning narrowly, no one's as annoyed with Werner. It's more of a, he'll score. It's all right. Hello, mate. All right, mate. You're all right, son. Yeah, you're all right. It's fine. Like we have such a different reaction to these things when we're winning games. Man United fans weren't really bothered about Martial's underperformance until we fell away from our mythical title race. Oh, I thought they were going to score again there. We've got man like Slens on the line now. Slens is back with the terrace. What you saying, bro?
Yes, guys. I hope you're good, man. Listen, Jam, man. Come on, man. Why are you hating on me? But no, listen, bro, when it comes to the Havertz and Mount debate, yeah? When I go to the cinema and they ask me, do you want sweet or salt popcorn? I say I want both. I want both, bro. Put them both in there. So I think, essentially for me, man, like when it comes to this system, I don't think we're going to play with a back three for the like next season and for the foreseeable future with Tuchel. I think we're going to have one more body in midfield or forward. I think that one more body could go to either Havertz or Mount. But I think today, man, talking about Werner, obviously, listen, Werner, I've been talking about him. I've been criticizing him. But today, what I will say is I don't like him on the right. I don't because when you're on the right as a right winger, you're supposed to be like a proper. I know he's almost a number 10, but he's supposed to be a proper 10 and everything. I don't think he can be that player. I think on the left is his position, on the left or a strike. I don't like seeing him on the right. So listen, man, to me, what Daniel said today as well about how we're good tactically is precisely right, bro. Because for me, like Rudiger, Christensen didn't become good centre backs overnight. I think you have to look at our press. Look, the biggest example is Man City. When Man City press, their centre backs look better than because they defend as a team, bro. That's what we do. We don't give too much time for the opposition on the ball. We press them highly. When Mount comes in, Mount is incredible at this as well. I've realised. Mount presses. He's almost the second person who presses, and we get the ball up so highly, and we can attack teams, and it's just great, man. Honestly, I love to listen. I'm the same as David. I think Mount was extremely overhyped by our fans last year. Honestly, I do believe so, and I understand why some people kind of criticize him because he was so overhyped last season. But for me, like this season, he's proved himself. We all said that he would improve under Tuchel, and he has. Do you know why? Because he's a pressing machine. He's someone who will run around for him. He's almost a Duracell bunny, man. I love to see it, and he's improved his final third. And he can be one of the best players in the league if he keeps improving like this. That's what I'll say. But until he does, let's just take it easy with him. But man, today, one more thing. Today, Havertz, man. Havertz was so good.
I want to say to you, your camera angle makes me feel like I'm a kid again. I'm talking to my dad. Do you know what I mean? It's like, Dad, can I have some sweet, please? It's like you're about 9 foot tall. I love it, bro. Listen, talking pure sense there as ever, Slens. We'll chat to you again soon, mate. Thank you very much. Next caller. Who we're going to go to next? We're going to go to the winter surfer. Man like Andrew is here. How's it going, bro?
Yeah, all good. Thanks for letting me on, Terry.
All right, mate. Is your secret shirt turned up yet?
No, it's not yet, but we're still in a 2-week time frame. So
yeah, because they did say that's the only thing about the website. No, but it's 7 to 14 days to deliver. I was like, who takes that long? Are they walking it? Are they walking it? Anyway, mate, give me your thoughts, mate.
I don't know about other Chelsea fans. It might be said before, but I'm not nervous when I watch Chelsea anymore. I'm now supremely confident. Even if we don't score for a while, I know we're not going to concede. And that's like, for me, that's prime Mourinho, prime Ancelotti teams. He's got the defense so set up. And you know what? I've said it to other people, Jorginho is not my favorite player, but he's been so impressive since Tuchel's come in. He's just vital to the whole team, man. And the way him and Kovacic just protected that midfield, and man, he's even made Tony Rudiger a good defender again, And I'm not nervous when anything goes to Mendy. So the only thing I'm disappointed is we should have smashed Everton and Liverpool 4-0 apiece. We should have smashed them. And if Werner just needs to get out of this mental block, and instead of smashing it in the goal, he start placing his shots. That's what he needs to do. Or it just needs to go off his backside, or he needs to play against Xhaka and it bounces off him and goes in.
We play Leeds next.
You play Leeds. You've got to score against Leeds. What was that?
I want to smash Leeds, man. I want to smash him so bad.
I think one of the things that I still think we need to we need to sort out or adapt to, and it may just take a bit of time. It might not be till we see next season. Maybe it'll be an additional player. I think we do need to adapt to killer instincts. I think we control game. We boss people off the pitch. Can't get the ball off us defensively. Winter Surfer's right. We look solid. We look strong. But we can go 1-0 up, and yeah, we do look comfortable. And don't get me wrong, it's nice to actually be able to sit back and enjoy that. But I still don't feel 100% comfortable going to the last 20 minutes of games when we're only 1-0 up. We do need to just have that killer instinct in us, and that's something we do not have at the moment. We do not have a killer instinct as a team.
Wait, David, let me just. I get that, but not every single game you need to kill a team 2-3-0. Sometimes a 1-0 win is just as good. You do know.
Yeah, but we've been doing that for a long time, Prime. That's something we've been doing consistently. 1-0s, 1-0s, 2-0.
There's nothing wrong with that. It shows how solid you are. For me, there's no point in pushing for a second and a third and leaving yourself exposed and then potentially drawing the game. That's something we were always doing last season.
Brian, you can see the other way though. If you guys don't end up scoring more goals, could go through a period where you are conceding more goals. And
Exactly.
No, literally, no. My point was.
What I was about to say, KJ.
My point was.
You do need to be more. Your conversion rate needs to improve. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone would disagree with that. But as you say, in your last couple of games, you've won them narrowly, but you could have won them 3 or 4-0, and I think that will come. I mean, it's the final piece of the jigsaw, and the man's been here 2 months. I think it's going to be class. Next caller on the show, Brittany Blue is back with us again. Thank you, Andrew, for coming on, mate. Really appreciate that, bro. Thank you, Brittany. What you saying?
I think it was an amazing game. It was so entertaining. I feel like Kovacic, I feel like y'all not giving him enough credit of how well he played. I know some of them players, those Everton players, are going to come off that pitch disliking him because he was pushing, shoving. It was a very physical game than I've seen from like Tuchel's start or since Tuchel came. I feel like this was the most physical. You see a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving. I'm so surprised how Holgate has not gotten a red card. But anyways, I really just believe that should have been Havertz's goal just for his confidence. I feel like Timo Werner, he needs to be more decisive, and he needs to learn how to like place a ball instead of just smashing it inside the goal. But he had a good game in my opinion. I don't think he was bad. I don't think he was good. I just think, he was good, I'll say. Callum Hudson-Odoi, I think he was our best attacker. Callum is just so consistent. Like it's actually fascinating how he's went from been talking about going to Bayern Munich and this, that, and the third to being literally our best player. And AC Hive, hit me up, send me the papers, post office them papers. I need to go sign to join this club because Christensen has just been giving me consistency after. Give me the papers so I can sign it. I need to join AC Hive. Carefree Lewis, hit me up. I need to sign them papers because right now AC Hive has been looking excellent. Zuma came back looking fresh, like the beginning of the season. We didn't even need Thiago Silva to not concede a goal in this match. I am beyond my arrogance.
I like two things, Brittany, please. One, are you back? Chelsea are back, right?
Brittany, don't fall for that trap.
Don't answer it. Please.
You know what? We're halfway. I'm going to say that. We're halfway. I'm going to wait till Atletico still.
Yes.
But also, because you guys are back on form, face reveal for the boys and the ladies. Come on now, for Chelsea, face reveal.
I actually saw her face the other day.
Have you not seen who? Do you not know what Brittany looks like?
I know what Brittany looks like. She had a camera came on the other day, and I saw it because I can see everybody backstage. I know what Brittany looks like, but you don't need to reveal. If you beat Atletico Madrid, will you reveal your face on the air?
Maybe.
All right, listen, thank you very much for calling, Britt. We'll speak to you again soon. Take care, look after yourself. I love her enthusiasm. The difference she is a person. When you guys were losing under Lampard, some of the stuff she said was wild. Well, it's not one of my videos taken down. Who's up on the show? We've got another super here. It says, I have this feeling that we'll buy a world-class goalkeeper and centre-back Our conversion rate will improve. We have to give this man the benefit. We're almost there. KJ getting called out on his agenda. Make sure you're smashing.
We get
1,000 likes while we're live on the air, please. A little bit longer left to go. Next up, who am I putting on here? I'm gonna put in. Yeah.
If we get Oblak, treble is on.
No. The thing is, right?
Why do you do this crap?
Joking for treble, but we need a world class goalkeeper. We do.
No, can I actually be honest? I don't think we actually need like that level of world class goalkeeper. I think Oblak is too much. Like he's a very good goalkeeper, but we don't concede enough shots where we are spending 120 odd million on him is worth it.
But David, we might need him to not, because the thing is we're playing this back three or back five because our defense is not strong enough.
That's why we're looking. The thing is, I agree with you. The thing is with Tuchel is that because we hold the ball so much compared to the opposition, they only can have a limited amount of attacks against us. So that the reason why Christensen and Rudiger and all of these guys look so good is because they will make mistakes when it happens over and over and over again. When you're getting attacked every 10, 15 minutes, these guys can focus in and go, this is where I need to be at this moment. They can't do it every 2 minutes, but every 10, 15, it's fine because they just got to focus all their quality into one. And
on top of that, it's not a... When you talk about levels of concern, the goalkeeping situation at Chelsea isn't a level of concern where we have to get. Like, I would happily go into next season with Edouard Mendy as our number one. He hasn't shown any reasons for me to want him to be dropped, and he's been comfortable. Like someone who isn't necessarily aesthetically pleasing on the eye on the ball, he still passes it quite comfortably out of the back, even under pressure. So I'm not too fussed, and he makes comfortable saves. He commands his box, and he does well under. Like you see how Everton tried to clamp us from the corner situations, and he was comfortable in those situations. He was ready to compete in that. So it's not a level of concern that we need to go out.
Daniel, I heard that, and again, I've slated Mendy a lot, and I've kind of apologized a bit. My thing is, okay, do you think he's good enough for us to win a title with? Because I'm thinking of
listen, without going back over old ground, Daniel's basically just said that. Yes, he's sort of like,
I don't.
Well, and that's fine, and you don't. We can let the viewers continue to talk about it. Otherwise, we'll go around in circles. Because you said you don't think he's good enough. 3 people have rebutted. Now you're just saying the same thing again. So we're gonna move on to another caller here. Back to Lamin. Lamin's back with us. Wi-Fi settings have been sorted. How you doing, bro?
Wi-Fi settings all sorted now. If it goes this time, that's it. I'm gonna be pissed. But yeah, I'm not gonna talk about Timo Werner because I think that kind of jinxed it. Today's game though, really good game. I am still very, very worried about like just our clinical edge. Really, whenever we get to the final third, it's just like I don't even flinch anymore. I just think we're gonna hold the ball. Oh, there it is. It's like how we lose it, and then we start all over again. Watching Chelsea is like watching a game of chess. It's always like a case of, okay, how are we gonna break them down? But I don't actually think we have that focal striker that's like good enough. I'm giving Timo Werner 1 season. I'm giving him this season free hit. If I see this behavior next year, that's it. I'll just say we need to find a replacement. And I'm saying now, Haaland, yes, I'll be happy with him. But if we can't get him, I'll happily take Lukaku. I think that Lukaku is a good second for me.
Well, a deal could be doable there because reportedly they missed Man United's 42 million pound payment. So maybe they're going to have to sell. Maybe Inter are going to have to be forced to sell Lukaku if they don't make that. Can you imagine he finally comes back after all these years? Be interesting though whether Lukaku has the technical ability to play Tuchel style of football though, because I feel like you need the issue that we had with Lukaku at Man United is that he's ball playing a bit. It wasn't that the first touch thing was always overlooked because some of his first touches was comically bad. It was more his interchange and his interplay wasn't good enough. But he seemed to do okay in Italy, but it's a slower paced league.
If we're going to sign anyone from Inter, it should be Lautaro. It should be Lautaro.
We're not getting Lukaku, mate.
Martinez, yo, fam, that man was 50 million euro. Yo, listen, take 50 million off Lautaro Martinez. Let us have him for 50 million, people. Like, we need him. You guys don't need Lautaro Martinez. We need him, bro. Yo,
KJ, you man are getting Sancho in it, like it's 50 million now.
Sancho 20.
Yeah, they're getting Sancho. It's confirmed. Yeah.
Imminent. It's imminent. The deal is on. I believe he's
Terry's been playing it since last year. 2021, he's going to get the 21 shirt. Yeah, it'll happen on the 21st of June. It's all set up, man. It's all set up.
Yeah, when lockdown ends, Jadon Sancho's coming back to England 110%. Lamin, thank you. Thank you very much, bro. Appreciate your call. We're going to do one more caller. Keep hitting that like and that share button, people. Tuchel is the real deal. He beat Mourinho, Klopp, and Carlo. And next is Pep. Chelsea are going to win the league next season. Kai is going to be the striker. Man like Ro here. Ro is buzzing.
Chelsea fans, listen to that. Triple E chest, fam. I told you that.
KJ,
wow. Where's your chest then?
And then we'll be making our
my chest is gone ever since Woodward came into my club, fam. He got that thing.
KJ said they would finish in the top 6 at the start of the season.
I said they come second. That's bad. I predicted second, and then after the transfer window, I said 7th, and maybe I shouldn't have done. But I'm glad to see this gentleman backstage back on a football terrace. Man like CFC Aqua, back in.
Hey, that's my guy.
No, lockdown air in full flow. What you saying, bruv?
I think the only negative today was probably us not scoring enough. I think something Tuchel's brung that we've missed for so long is probably balancing his team. I think our defence was solid. Our midfield was... I think the pivot of Jorginho and Kovacic is our best midfield partnership. I think Kante is probably our best midfielder, but he doesn't suit the system as well as Jorginho and Kovacic do, if that makes sense to you guys. I don't know if you guys agree with me there. But I think in the summer, the only signing we really need is a striker. I think we've got too many midfielders. I think, in fact, we need to probably get rid of midfielders. I think midfield-wise, I think we're solid. I think Jorginho and Kovacic are main starters. I think Kante, Gilmore, Loftus-Cheek if he comes back, Barkley. We've got way too many midfielders. I think in the summer we just need a striker like Haaland, and I think genuinely we can challenge for the title next season as long as we bring in a solid striker and probably another centre back. Because I think Zuma, Christensen, Rudiger are all great centre backs, but I don't know if they're going to be able to take the team forward to winning titles, especially with Thiago Silva getting to 37. I don't know if he's going to be able to be consistently playing. Well, we've already seen this season, he started to get injuries. And I think next season, we could see a situation where he keeps getting more and more injuries to the point where, he plays less than half the season. KJ just chatting with them buck teeth and being jealous.
I've got a question.
I gotta get why he's calling KJ.
I've got a question.
That made me laugh because I'm like, KJ, I don't get it. What you said there about the system thing, I think is so key because it's horses for courses. Under LVG for 2 years, Chris Smalling was amazing. Over in Italy, in the systems he's played there, he's been pretty good as well. Outside of that at Man United, he was pretty average. Look at Christensen. I don't think Christensen on paper is even in your top 3 centre-backs. But under this system, with the way you're retaining the ball, the lack of opportunities opponents have got against you, he's doing very well. Where it's going to be key is, going back to Daniel's point earlier, because what will happen, it happens to every single team, probably, Man City, they even got exposed last year until they brought in some new players and changed it a little bit. Eventually, teams figure you out a little bit and they work out your weaknesses. When Tuchel then changes his system, then it's how good is Christensen, how good is Zuma, how good is Jorginho or Kovacic as the pair. You might then find, actually, we now need to go back to playing Kante as the main starter or rotate somebody out. And that's why, again, though, a team like Chelsea and a club like Chelsea are going to be okay because you've got the resource and the ability to bring in and have the personnel in your squad for those rotation purposes. That's when you might find and I maybe was a little bit premature when I said Ben Chilwell might leave because he's not playing. If you end up having to go back to a flat back four because your system kind of gets found out a little bit and Tuchel changes it, there's no way you can play Alonso in a flat back four. It's going to have to be Ben Chilwell. So I think it's going to be really interesting between now and the end of the season what business you do. I think Tuchel might try and hold on to as many of these players as he can and only replace what comes in. Does that make sense? If you bring another centre-back in, a centre-back leaves. If you bring in a striker, one forward might go, Olivier Giroud. I think shrinking your squad too soon might be damaging because you've got a really good squad overall. It's just utilising it properly, you know?
Yeah. And also, can I also answer your question about Havertz and Mount? I think with Havertz and Mount, I think they're both incredible players, and I think they both offer different things. I think Mount offers you the pressing, the defensive work. I think Havertz is more just an attacker. You don't really see Havertz tracking back, and when he does, he gives away more fouls than he does tackles. So I think both of them are good in their own rights, and I think in different games, both of them can be used in different ways. And I think maybe teams where we need to press harder, Mount is better. But maybe teams who are going to have more of the ball, Havertz is a better player, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's what I'd say to that.
I hear you on that. Listen, sorry, go on, mate. Go on.
I was just going to ask him something really quickly because he mentioned something about a centre back and a striker. I'm all down for a striker. Don't get me wrong. I do think we need someone to put it in the back of the net. If Timo Werner can't do that going into next season as well, I get that. One of the things that I feel like we actually do miss more than anything, probably more than even a centre back at the moment, because obviously I think the three at the back's getting the best out of the defenders we currently have, is I don't think we actually have a creative player. Someone's actually going to put Sane in front of a striker and allow him to score and create more chances within our squad. I think that's more of an issue, and we should do, because we've got Hakim Ziyech, but he's not in form at the moment. So who's the guy that's going to create and make them key passes to Havertz, to Werner, because see Kovacic and Jorginho being able to do that.
I think with our team, we don't have a singular creative player. I think the whole team kind of creates chances together. I feel like we have Cover in the midfield that creates chances. I think we have Mount that creates chances. Havertz that creates chances. I don't think we have a single creator because there isn't a position on the pitch for a creator to be. I think with the double pivot, we need two players that are good defensive but also can create chances. And I think we can't have someone that's just on the pitch solely to create. I think with our system, it's the team creates together more than just a single person being there just to create. I think what we need the most is just a goal scorer.
But do we create enough though?
I think we create a lot of chances. You look at Werner; he's missed so many chances I can't even count anymore. If we had a striker like Haaland or a striker that puts away chances, we wouldn't be sitting here saying that we need creativity. We have creativity. We just don't have lethal players to put away the ball. You know, Mount is probably one of our most lethal players, and I think Mount's a good player.
I mean, it's easy. It's easy. I think I kind of hear where
we've gone through games. We've gone through games where we've only created one chance a half. We played Barnsley and we created one shot in the first half. Do you know what I mean? And that's just not good enough. And we've done that. Yeah, but we've done that through a sequel of games where we was making one created chance, one half, two created chances, a second. That's not enough. That's not good enough for Chelsea. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I also, I'd say, right, is
one second, guys. Oh, sorry, Daniel. What were you going to say, mate?
No, I was just literally saying, if you look at the stats, I think Mount's up there with the best in terms of creating chances. I think he's in the top 3. And I think when you look at Chelsea teams of old, we've not necessarily, I think we're just so stuck in that idea that we had Fabregas and Fabregas created all our chances. Chelsea back in the day, we created chances all over the pitch. And I think we don't need to get stuck in that idea where we need a creative midfielder necessarily. Someone that idea of idea ball is basically kind of what's killing Thiago at Liverpool, where they thought maybe you have someone else you can create chances, just plug him in there and it will work. I think what we need to do is get the striker in, and that's where the clinicalness will come in, and everyone will feed off of the chances that are being created because our strikers finishing the chances that we get.
I mean, today we produced the most XG under Tuchel in the league.
Literally.
Well, you created 14 chances today, which is key. I mean, it's because there's only a small body to go with. I think you do create opportunities. I do. The thing is, what people have to remember about stats around chances being created is someone tweeted, I can't remember who it might have been. It might have been Aidan, the United fan, about we only created 2 big chances against Newcastle, and it was like, oh, it's terrible. And it was the first time I thought, what's good then? So I went and looked at Man City over the last. I went to the last 4 seasons where Man City had been the best. Over the last 4 years, Man City had been the best, right? Best attacking team in the league as well. They, on average, over the course of 4 seasons, have averaged 2.3 big chances per game. So if you're between sort of 1.5 and 2.5 per game, on average, you're pretty bloody good. Like you're really, really good. Their Centurions only created 1.9 per game. So clear cut's an interesting one. It's the other thing when you've got the 14 chances created, maybe one of them, maybe 2 of them are big chances. It's, do you have the players to convert those half chances, those moments? And that's what Chelsea are not doing at the minute. Yes, Timo Werner has missed a few one-on-ones, but it's when you've had shooting opportunities from positions where you might score and you're not putting them away. You need a bit better there. Haaland, that's why he and the Lewandowskis and the Harry Kanes of this world score so many goals. They will do what most strikers do, and now tap in 8, 9, 10 a year. Like tap-ins are easy. They get 3 or 4 one-on-ones they put away. But it's all those goals they score when they probably shouldn't, and they're the only ones who are doing it. Do you get where I'm coming from? And you need someone that's gonna put them away. It isn't so much about just chances being created. It's just having finishers that are on point, that are scoring goals, and are not scared to have a shot. And maybe that's the one thing I see with Werner in it. It's he only really wants to shoot when he's in the right position to shoot. Just take risks. Yes, the ball might go over the crossbar 3 or 4 times, but keep going. It's one of the reasons why Harry Kane and Bruno Fernandes get criticized for this, but it's mad because look at their goal scoring ratios. Oh, they shoot too much. Yeah, but they maintain their confidence and they keep shooting and they score lots of goals. And you need to do that sometimes. You just got to keep taking shots. You really, really do.
He was doing that today, though. He was taking shots when he probably shouldn't have been.
Yeah, but he's got to do it he's got to do it all the time. No, he took 3. He took 3 shots.
3 shots today. Yeah, I mean, right now he's got his lowest shots per 90 in his career. So, yeah.
Well, there we go.
He's got to shoot more.
Without even looking at the statistics, like I always say, if we're going to be doing this show very soon on one of the new quizzes we're adding to our 5 p.m. shows, it's called. Something I don't know the name yet, something to do with the eye test, and we're basically going to say, does your eye test match? So for me, I don't think Werner's shooting enough. David then says it's the lowest shots per game ratio he's ever had. My eye test is right. If you say to me Rashford don't dribble enough, but he's the 3rd highest dribbler in the league, then your eye test is wank, bruv. Do you know what I mean? So that's what and it is true. It's going to be a great game because people are going to get. By the way, we did this for the first weekend where we put down how many goals of individual brilliance versus how many team goals. Across all Premier League teams, there's only 1 goal all weekend that by the football terrorist definitions would be considered a moment of brilliance, and that was Harry Kane's strike. Every other goal goes down as a team goal. Even your first goal tonight is a team goal because the team led to it. The penalty was a team goal because teamwork led to the penalty. So far, one goal out of all of the top 6 plus 1 this weekend was a moment of brilliance. So we're going to do that for the rest of the season. Then we're going to deliver the results to see which team of the top 6 plus 1 scores more goals of individual brilliance on a ratio, on a complete number level and on a percentage of all of their goals. And then we're going to add the eye test. I don't know what we're going to call it yet. Got a little play on words, I think, on there.
Your eyes deceiving you or something like that.
Something like that would be good. We're going to go to another call now. It's Abs. Abs is a Chelsea fan. What you saying, bro?
That was easy, wasn't it? No, but if we're being serious, that was... we did what we had to do. Went in. Werner, he wasn't great today. Who else wasn't all that? I think, despite what everyone said about Jorginho, there was a few times where he didn't look particularly comfortable, particularly when he came up against Alan. But Havertz was unreal today, and so was Cho. Got some actual midfielders, not Wijnaldum and Thiago at Liverpool. And we beat them. I see David getting gashed already. And, we beat the real Scouts team, not those prats. So, yeah.
Shots fired. Man shooting. How confident are you, Abs, about the remainder of the season, maybe picking up some silverware? Or do you think that's too early to talk about that yet? And it's just this focus on sort of taking it game by game?
The problem is with silverware is that you've got to look at it from the perspective of when you play a cup match, it's not necessarily about how consistent you are. It's about how well you play on the day, right? So let's take, for example, the Champions League, right? You could get, when we beat Bayern Munich, right? we were by no means on paper the better team, but we played better on the day in terms of we defended better. We were like more progressive with the ball, right? So it's more dependent on how well we turn up on the day, as well as, you know, how the draw pans out. So that's the Champions League, even in the FA Cup, for example. So yeah, that's just two ways of looking at it. And it's also dependent on if we can maintain our form for the rest of the season. But hopefully we can try to win. Also, on the Havertz and Mount thing, I'm going to probably say that, you know, you can squad rotate. It depends on how, you know, Tuchel wants to play in the future. If we revert back to a back four, then maybe it could, you know, you could fit Havertz and Mount. Or even in this current system, you could go with like the inside Tetons, or even Havertz as a false nine, and then Mount off the left or right.
It could work. Listen, bro, I appreciate your call. Thank you very much for coming on, mate, as ever. Thank you. And CFC Aqua, great to have you back on the terrace, bro. Really appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Sanjay's next on. Sanjay, welcome back to the terrace. What do you want to say, bro? Hello.
It's
Sanjay.
me.
Someone going to finish the rest of the song off? No one is. Cool. Sanjay. There we go. Yeah, don't to say. I'm feeling like we should put David on the spot. What you all thinking? Should we have a little go of the eye test now? And so we'll do Mason Mount. Should we do Mason Mount versus? Who should we put Mason Mount up against? And let's see. Against Kai Havertz. Okay, so I'm going to edit in. What kind of statistics should we put in there? Tell me some things that we should put in.
I think David
assists.
Or David, what do you think? What do you think?
What do you want to? I mean, if you're going to do it based on this season, you've got to do it. The stats have to be per 90 because he hasn't played enough.
It will be per 90. So
per 90.
What do you think we should be putting in there?
Whacking goals, assists, because I bang on about outputs. Shots. No.
David creating the perfect formula. David, you better be right with this one.
I'm adding some in here. I'm adding lots of things in here which I think are important for attackers, as well as anything as well as anything else. And it's all going to be per 90. And I think these are quite important. That's important. So what I've put in there. So these are the statistics. So these are the statistics that I've put in there, right? So viewers, make sure you're smashing that like and share button. This is going to be interesting. Yes, I've thrown that one in there as well. So that's the final one I've got to find. Bear with me a second, peeps. I've got to throw that.
Terry, is this just at Chelsea or is this the career?
This is at Chelsea. This season. So these are the statistics. There is ball recoveries, possession lost, goals, conversion rate, chances created, passes attempted, passing accuracy, crossing accuracy, through balls attempted, successful layoffs, successful take-ons, and ground duels won. I think that's a really good. You know, people say things like, "You can't ever tell." You know, Xavi's stats weren't good. I bet you Xavi barely lost the ball. I bet you his ground duel succession was amazing. I bet his layoffs and his layoffs and his through ball attempts were fucking sensational. They're always stats. So let's start with it. So it's going to be Kai Havertz on Mount. You've got to say whether Mason Mount is higher or lower. Does that make sense? So which of the two is going to have more than? So first one, and we're going to note down how many you get right and wrong. So ball recoveries per 90 minutes. Havertz or Mason Mount?
Mason Mount.
Kai Havertz 4.7 per game. Mason Mount 4.8. So Mason Mount wins in that category.
Oh, master presser though. Okay, master presser.
He literally recovers it the same bloody amount of time. Okay, so next one. Loss of possession. Who loses the ball more per game? Kai Havertz or Mason Mount?
Mason Mount.
Kai Havertz loses possession 14.3 times per game. Mason Mount loses it per game 15.2. You're right there again, David. Goals per 90 minutes. Who has the most? Probably an easy one.
That's got to be Mason.
It is 0.1. This is ironic, right? It's not that much. 0.1 per 90 versus 0.3 for Mason. There we go. Who has the best conversion rate of their shots? Kai Havertz or Mason Mount?
I'd say Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz conversion
Yeah, I
rate
agree.
is 11%. Mason Mount's conversion rate, 12%. Fairly similar. Next one. Chances created per 90 minutes. Who has the most?
Oh, Mason.
1.1 chances created per game for Kai Havertz, 2.9 for Mason Mount. Interestingly, it's the only one so far where one of them has been vastly
like head and shoulders.
Yeah. Next one. Passes attempted per game. Who attempts the most passes in the game?
Mason.
I'd say Mason. Yeah.
So 48 for Kai Havertz, 52 for Mason Mount. So that's 5 so far. 5 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's literally 5-1 right now to Mason Mount. Passing accuracy. Who has the best passing accuracy of the two?
Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz, 85% pass accuracy.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Mason Mount, 87%. Mason Mount is the
Money Mason.
Is the better passer. Crossing accuracy as a percentage. So how many crosses find their target? Who's the best crosser of the two?
It's got to be Mount, isn't it? Havertz don't even cross.
Havertz.
Wow, he's gone with Havertz here. I test at play. So Kai Havertz's crossing accuracy is 10%. Mason Mount's crossing accuracy is 37%.
Wow. No. The thing I was thinking, like corners, right? Because he takes so many corners. Will they how many does he? That's me, but
he went for
silly, David. You're silly.
Through balls attempted per game. Who does the most attempts through balls?
Neither of them attempt many through balls. It will be like 0.1 or something. Well, maybe completed ones, but
it's interesting.
So it's not a big difference.
This is where David's eye test hasn't let him down. Kai Havertz does the most at 0.2, Mason Mount 0.1. So you didn't really guess one, but both low. Successful layoffs per game.
Layoffs. Oh, I'll give it Mason.
So Kai Havertz 1.8 layoffs per game. Mason Mount 1.1 per game. Successful
Should have gone with my gut.
Who on a percentage basis wins the most amount of take on? So when they try and beat a man, who beats a man more, Mason Mount or Kai Havertz?
Mason Mount. That's me trying to differentiate how much he frustrates me.
Yeah, Kai Havertz 55%, Mason Mount 56%. So again, most of these are so neck and neck. I literally, I said
all I'm saying.
This is what happens with the eye test. It's because of people's agenda towards Mount. I think sometimes you disregard how many of these things he's good at. Final one, ground duels one. Who wins the most ground duels?
I think Havertz slightly.
Why?
I would say Mason.
I feel like he's been in less, and 2, I feel like when he does, he's not losing it as many times.
Okay, so Kai Havertz wins 3.3 ground duels per game. Mason Mount 5.2.
Wow,
very good. Now again, I'm very lucky. I get to look at all these individual things next to it. It's just one of them. Some of the statistics. The only thing I would say, look, Kai Havertz got a long way to go, and we know how talented he is. But Mason Mount, in certain areas, completely outstrips him. All the areas there's only 3 of all those areas that Kai Havertz is better per 90 than Mason Mount, statistically speaking. But he doesn't outstrip him on anything. The one thing I say about Mason Mount is you've got to think of crossing accuracy as an example. His chances created, and his ground duels won. It's significantly more than Kai Havertz.
I agree with that. However, my thing is, and as I've been saying, people have been saying Kai has been goddamn awful, and Mason's been the best player of the season. Now, if you're going by those stats, if the difference is that close, that's why, as I've said, my money's more on Kai Havertz than it is on Mason.
Bro, but I've just done something here. So this is where the test. I've just put in last season. So last season, if you do all them same stats, he only wins one extra one, and actually the conversion rate was at 18%. His goal, actually, so I'm a liar. So possession lost lot. This is the irony in it. He attempted more through balls and more layoffs last season than this year, but then lost the ball. Instead of 14 times this season, it was up at 18. Why you lose the ball more? When you try more risky, right? They're more creative. But Mason Mount this season still outstrips him statistically from last year. So ground duels one's the same. Successful take-ons last year was 33%. Attempted through balls the same, barely did it. Crossing accuracy was still only at 12%.
But Terry, what about them goals and assists, Terry?
So goals and assists. So goals, 0.4 goals per 90 versus Mason Mount's 0.3. It's almost identical. And chances created, Mason Mount still creates one extra chance per game. My point is, even last year when Kai Havertz was killing it, statistically speaking, I don't care. He wasn't ahead. This is where the eye test lies to people. When you prefer somebody and you dislike somebody else, you never look at them equally. You end up like
that's the thing. When when we were doing the dribbling one, I was there because Mason goes on runs where he will beat 4 or 5 people, and that will obviously go in his benefit. But when he does those runs and then he messes up at the end, that's where I get the most frustrated with him because it's like he's done all the hard work and then he messes up at the end, and then that makes me forget. That makes me forget about the 4 or 5 people he's already beat in the process. So that's me trying to differentiate. So I don't think I thought I did quite well considering. Personally,
no, you're emotionally attached, David.
When Mason Mount does stuff like that, you're talking about the last bit, the end product. Does that not just come with experience?
Well, no. But that's one as I said. But when he scored his goal against Liverpool, literally he did the same thing twice. However, the second time he did it,
David, I think when Matisse was on the other day, he kind of said something. I think he was right on reflection. I listened to it back. Around, you've kind of let other people maybe overpraising Mason Mount damage your view of Mason Mount. And I'm not saying you should just go with stats. Of course, the eye test is important, but I truly believe people's eye tests lie to them. So what a lot of people say about Bruno Fernandes and Rashford, to bring it contextually back, is what do they do when they're not scoring goals? Well, no Premier League football players in the league have been involved in more build-ups to goals, not including assists and goals, than Bruno and Rashford. So not only have they scored and assisted 2 of the highest amounts across all competitions in the league, no players have been involved in the build-up to goals more than them. That's involving layoffs that maybe they started to dribble off or whatever it may be. They've been involved. But yet people don't want to see that because it doesn't fit the narrative. They want to be tunnel vision. They do nothing other than score goals. They do nothing other than score goals. They do nothing other than score goals. So they're not watching. And I think that you do that with Mason Mount like other people do. Now, I'm not saying you should only go stats. Of course, you've got to watch. But I do think the eye test, because of preference, makes people like switch off. And we see that all the time in life, don't we? Do you know what I mean? You could have 2 people give the same opinion. But if we like the person giving the opinion versus someone we don't like, we look at the opinion a little bit differently. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? A lot of Chelsea fans would like Thomas Tuchel after what he did with Demba Ba and them, man. If he weren't Chelsea manager, do you know what I mean? If he'd managing Arsenal, there'd be a lot more shit for him. But he's my manager. I'll let him off. We're all a bit like that. Listen, BV24s, this stream and this conversation is appalling. Well, do you know what I'll do, bruv? I'll just do a little favor, bruv. I'm going to click on this button here and block you. You know what I want to do, bruv? They say mental health is really important, and we stand up for good, strong mental health. So I don't want to put anything into your ears, bro, that makes you feel like, that it's appalling and it's triggering you. So we're going to do you the benefit of the doubt and block you from the football terrace so that we don't damage your psyche anymore, bro. So big up yourself.
People like that quite interesting because, again, the link is in the chat. If we're wrong in anything or everything we're saying, come and correct us.
Listen, I normally ignore those kind of comments. Do you know what it comes down to? Someone who just commented like that, it's a bit like earlier when I did the thing about the team goals versus moments of individual brilliance. I know that's triggered people that we've been talking about that because what this experiment does, it ends myth. It's a myth buster because if we get to the end of the season, and let's just say on average, all the top 6 teams have scored 20 goals each, and only 5% of Man United's are individual moments of brilliance, it dispels the myth that most of our goals are that, and it ruins people's narratives. When people say things like, I don't know, Rashford doesn't do X, and you prove the facts, people, they get annoyed. That's what it comes down to. But I'm relaxed about it. But I just thought we'd ban him just because.
Terry, just a final point on. Just a quick final point on those 2 players, though. But in terms of the stats, I think more than ever now, in terms of me going forward, what that's highlighted to me is that they can both coexist in the same team. They're not the same players. They're actually not the same, in my opinion. And I think they're very, very different. And when you look at the eye test and you look at what they were able to offer today, especially in the little glimpses that we saw when Mount came on, they both can operate in pockets of space. whilst also trying to break the defensive line and running beyond and trying to get in behind. They both can do that. So I think, look, we've got options, and we can't get stuck into this idea where it's like it's one or the other. We've got both. Let's use both.
I completely and utterly agree. And I think that one's more of a creator and one is more of a goal scorer based on if you look at their 2 or 3 years of their careers. And you can utilize that. Balance is so key about utilizing people in the right places. And like I always say, the eye test tells you some of the story and statistics show the other. If somebody comes out and says, my guy, best winger in the league, most creative guy there is, and he's creating like 0.2 chances per game, your eye test is shocking. Like, it really is shocking. Like, your judgment is awful. But maybe it's because it excites you. When somebody excites you and you enjoy watching them, you're always gonna put, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I say to everyone, my favorite singer is a guy called Lamar. The guy barely sells records, but he's still my favorite. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know there's better singers than him, but my favorite and my preference shouldn't be held up again. Shouldn't be worth more than someone's facts. Do you know what I mean? Craig David's outsold him, I think, like 10-1 in records. Craig David's better than him. Although I like, do you know what I mean? But it's just how it is. I'm just giving people an insight into the kind of music I listen to, but there we go. Listen, everyone who's tuned in, thank you very, very much indeed. We appreciate it a lot here on the Football Terrace. Well done to Chelsea. We're back tomorrow with even more content. Champions League football in the house. It's going to be an epic week. Teams are dropping out of that tournament. Big Thursday night as well for the proper Europe kicks off and starts. AC Milan Man United is actually the biggest fixture this week, if we're being absolutely honest. You know what I mean? It's the two gigantic teams, and then more Premier League football for you. Prime, KJ, Daniel, and all the other guests we've had on tonight. Thank you. Until next time.